This one better be insane. This one is called the Insane Passing Triangle for FM. Now, on the Steam Workshop where I got this from, TIKI-TAKA is TIKI-TAKA, but here it's actually TIQUI-TAQA. So I don't know where I mean, obviously it's the same thing, but I don't know where one is different from the other, but whatever. The description does say, my best to date tiki-taka tactic of FM24. Competing in Champions League as underdogs, already beat Napoli, PSG, and Leipzig. Your intent is to keep the ball and rotate the ball from side to side until there is a breakthrough. Pace is really important for wingers in this formation so they can beat their opponents at the flank. Now, there is an alternative formation in the second picture on the Steam Workshop itself. But basically, if you take a look at this tactic here, this is the normal tactic. You throw it down here as a libero, and that's where you get, the second formation for it. So if you're going up against a Man City, things like that, a harder team to beat, then this is what you're going to use. But for right now, Aston Villa, Liverpool, and our championship side of Ipswich Town, let's see how they did. Now, the big thing for this tactic seems to be that you actually have to have your hands in on the tactic itself, in with the players and things like that. You've got to massage it, your players into the squad, and you also have to massage the squad and during a match itself. Obviously, I didn't do that. This is a full-blown holiday for the entire season. My manager and assistant coaches have been doing all the work for me. So when you get up to harder teams for an Aston Villa like Man City, a Liverpool, things like that, they didn't bring it down to a libero. They just left it as the DM in that central, DM role. But things like that are going to change how a tactic performs and how the outcome happens. And this time it just wasn't there because I was on a holiday. But Liverpool come in fourth place, 65 goals, 75 points. Not the greatest of seasons. Usually they're up there in around second with about 85. And then 65 goals is definitely low, especially 95 for Tottenham. Wow. Aston Villa in 12th is below their media prediction, so that is not a good season at all. 45 goals, 44 points, not great. Domestic Cups, FA Cup third round, you're out against Fulham 1-0, and then you get to the Carabao Cup final against Tottenham, but unfortunately Tottenham seem to be unstoppable this season. 1-3 in the Carabao Cup final, and then you're out there. And unfortunately you're out in the Europa League round of 16 to Feyenoord. Funny enough. So overall, your best piece is a Carabao Cup runner-up. Unfortunately, you get no trophies this season whatsoever. You end up in fourth. You're still in Champions League, fine, but overall, it didn't seem like a greatest season for Liverpool. Squad-wise, not as many in the green as you'd expect, but only 15 goals for Salah, and that's the highest. Usually you're getting up into the 20s at least for a couple of players. 14 assists is the only one in double digits for Szoboszlai, and then highest average rating is a 7.31 for Salah. That's fine. It's everything else that's really lacking. Aston Villa getting up to the Carabao Cup quarterfinals against Tottenham, and then you're out there. You do beat Ipswich Town in the FA Cup fourth round, but you get to the FA Cup quarters against Southampton, and that's where you drop out. Europa League Conference quarterfinals, that's where you drop out to Dynamo. It wasn't a great season. I mean, I will say you get to the quarterfinals after going 12th in the league. That is awful. But quarterfinals of all three trophy competitions, yeah, that's fine. But in some of these tactics that we've covered, you really do a much better job. And squad-wise, 3 in the green, and that includes Coutinho. So goals-wise, 18 for Zaniolo, that's actually not bad. Assists, 10 is the only one in double digits for John McGinn. And then average rating, 7.02 for Yuri Tillemans. So overall, usually we see a lot of attacking numbers on this side of the diagram. This time you're getting some on the lower side. The dribble's okay. Defensively looks pretty nice. And then if you look at the general performance, 1.71 goals per game, not great, but expected goals, 0.86. So I guess that's why you're getting fourth. Aston Villa, yeah, even less. Dribbling's pretty through the roof, which is nice to see. But you get a 1.18 goals per game and a 1.22 goals or expected goals against. Points per game, just because, why not? Liverpool, 1.97, Aston Villa, 1.16. But overall, Premier League, how did the stats turn out? Most goals, Liverpool in fourth with 65. Few shots against, they're in second with 211, but Aston Villa all the way down in eighth with 356. Possession, Liverpool tops with 62%, Aston Villa with 57, not too bad. Most dribbles made, Aston Villa in third, Liverpool in fourth. Best pass completion, Liverpool in first with 91%, Aston Villa on the same mark. Most shots for Liverpool in seventh with 441. But now how did Ipswich Town do in the championship? 7th place. 2 points out of the playoff promotion. Unfortunately, it didn't work. 62 goals, though, not great. 79 points, not bad. I mean, well above 8th place Birmingham, but still, you really needed those 2 points just to get into the playoff picture. They did get to the Carabao Cup fourth round, unfortunately losing out to Burnley, 2-2 in penalties, and then FA Cup fourth round, as we already saw, against Aston Villa. So overall, I mean, championship of 7th place, not great. FA Cup, Carabao Cup, you're not expected to do much anyway. You didn't, but that's fine. And squad-wise, you can see goals. 17 is the tops for Connor Chaplin. Hurst all the way down. Where is Hurst? Oh, wow. He didn't play a single match. That's insane. Assists 6 is the top for Leif Davis. Average rating 712 for Plotke, but still, I mean, that he was the only one that kept him in this league. That's insane. So they're here sometimes, but not a lot. Fewest shots against in second place with 329. Most possession with 62%. You can clearly see this is a possession-based tactic. Most dribbles made in third with 846. And best pass completion in first with 92%. Very nice there, at least. So with all that interesting stuff out of the way, let us take a look at the tactic itself. You start out with a sweeper keeper in defend, an inverted fullback on the left in defend, an inverted wingback on support on the right side, central defender in defend, next to a ball-playing defender in defend, a deep-lying playmaker in support, and then in front of them is a roaming playmaker in support, an advanced playmaker in attack, and then on the wings is an inside forward in support on the left, a winger in support on the right, and a false 9 in support up front. Now, this deep-lying playmaker, when you get to teams that are stronger than you, that you need a little bit more defense, you just bring him down, and this is according to the maker of the tactic itself. You change that to a libero in support, and there you go. So that is how you're going to play against a Man City, Liverpool, things like that when you're an Aston Villa. So if you need that back line a little bit stronger, there you go. It is a positive mentality. Attacking with this fairly narrow approach play, you play out of defense, much shorter passing directness, tempo is lower, low crosses, and work the ball in the box. In transition, counter, distribute quickly, and distribute to the center backs. And then out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a much higher defensive line, trigger press much more often, and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. But now, how did it do for our three teams? Unfortunately, not great. Now, again, it doesn't seem to have anything to do with the tactic itself. Doing all this just shows you kind of how the tactic works and how some of the stats that you're just going to be leaps and bounds over others in. But you really need to get your hands into every match and kind of play each match. Play to the team's strengths. If you're up against a harder team, bring that deep line playmaker down to a libero, and then hopefully you'll have better luck than we did here. 7th place for Ipswich Town, not the greatest. We've definitely seen better. And if we head over to Liverpool and Aston Villa, yeah, 4th place, sure, it's fine, but they could have done better there. Aston Villa in 12th is pretty awful. But get in there, try it out, play as you normally play, and kind of get into each match and see how you can do. And see, let us know how it goes. But that is it for me, Sephian FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.